Hi, and welcome to another episode of Grit Factor. I'm Erin-Jane Miller, your host for today. On today's show, we chat with Mandisa Phuncu. She is creative director and founder at AMARI Woman and, of course, a Mrs. South Africa finalist for 2024. Mandisa.
Hello.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so excited just to hear your story and to share just what you've been through and how you have achieved all that you have. You are a business owner, you are a mom, you are a wife.
Girl.
I'm sure it doesn't come without its challenges.
Girl. You know.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, but maybe just start at the beginning. Who are you? Just share with our listeners, and how did AMARI, come about?
So AMARI Woman was a brand that I've always just really dreamed of growing up, At 12 years old, I started sketching.
Okay.
I've always been a creative at heart.
Yes.
But I watched my mom sew. She used to make curtains and clothing, but she'd work shifts as well.
Okay.
So I watched her toil away behind the machine at the same time she's going to
Wow.
work. My dad was also a creative, was a writer. So I
Okay.
also write as well
Wow.
because of him.
Amazing.
He inspired me beyond measure.
Wow.
So, in all honesty, that's where AMARI Woman was born.
Okay.
But it is a dream that I really just allowed to grow within me without me really expressing it as I grew up. So I studied psychology.
What?
Imagine, I wanted to be a doctor. I was like, I need to be a doctor.
Really?
Because my thought process was I want to help people. That's what I really just wanted to do. And it was a good thought, but my dad kept saying, but you're a creative, you're a writer, you draw, you love clothing, you're a fashion lover,
Yes.
so why not pursue this? And I did not listen.
Okay.
Like most kids.
Yeah.
I decided to go study psychology, got
Yeah.
my qualifications, and when I was done, my dad was like, so now what? Now what? And I decided to get into retail.
Okay.
So I worked in stores for like 15 years.
Wow.
And it was a very deliberate and intentional decision because I
Okay.
really wanted to learn about the business because I knew I wanted to venture off into retail.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. I got into retail and I learned the business and I grew quite quickly in it. I did buying for most stores. I didn't study for this,
Amazing.
by the way. So I did some buying in some
Yes.
stores. I was able to train managers as well within the stores that I found myself in. But because I'm really passionate about coaching and development as well.
Amazing.
Like I love the concept of people growing and not just staying in the
Yes.
dormant places, if that makes sense, And so coaching and development has always been something that I've also been passionate about. I think psychology played a huge part in that because I've got a great passion for people as well.
yeah.
So this Val girl decided to get into retail, and after 15 years, I thought, there's something calling me because I've always just really knew that fashion was something I was really passionate about as well. And then in 2021, I decided to go buy a machine. Had no clue what I was going to be doing.
Okay.
All I knew is that Mandisa Phuncu wanted to learn how to sew and she wanted to get into this business. And so I got myself my first machine in April of 2021.
Wow.
Got into YouTube and I followed...
So you didn't sew before that?
Never. I just watched my mom do it,
yeah.
I watched my mom do it for years and I just never really did it physically. I just started drawing and I loved the concept of fashion in itself. And so, I bought a machine and here I started sewing, followed a lady called Mimi G on YouTube.
Okay.
And I started buying her patterns and word for word, I followed every single thing that she did. And here I am in December, I registered the business officially. I was like, okay, cool. I think I'm confident enough to actually start this business.
Very cool.
And I started the business in 2021 in December. I registered it.
Wow.
Things got official. And it's been like a whole journey from there. And quite honestly, what I've noticed is that with my journey in learning, what I did is that I was very intentional about allowing people into my story.
Okay.
I got people to really watch me learn, make the mistakes, get frustrated about a stitch going wrong.
Okay.
And it was so intentional because I needed people to realize that it's possible. Like I had no background in fashion, but I wanted people to know that you can literally achieve anything you want to. And the moment I started venturing off into the business officially, people just wanted to order so much. And I don't think some people probably beg to differ, but I don't think there's anything super special about the designs. But I think it's the story behind it and what AMARI Woman stands for. So the slogan is "She who possesses great strength," and AMARI is an Arabic word that means possesses strength.
Wow.
And so I really just wanted to pull from the strength that women have. And for me, the strength that you have is God, that is so deep-seated within you, who you are as a woman. And I wanted women to know that there is some special power within you, and you need to pull it out within you and allow people to bask in the glory of who God has created you to be. And that's the strength that AMARI Woman speaks on. I really want the clothing to be the byproduct of what the business is. I want the business to be viewed as empowerment. What I love about it is that when people put on the garments after a fitting, I love how women feel like their best selves.
Amazing.
They look in the mirror and they're like, is this me?
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, that's you. That's you. And so that's what AMARI Woman is, and that's who I am. That's how I started. I'm a mom of two. I didn't even mention that. I jumped right straight into my little baby, my toddler, AMARI Woman. I'm a mom of two. I'm 35 years old. I'm originally from the Val. I was brought up by two individuals who are absolutely passionate about God. They introduced me to my Creator, and have never looked back ever since. And that's who has really guarded and guided me throughout my purpose. And I feel like having walked into AMARI Woman and giving birth to her, I felt like I'm walking within purpose. Like I feel like there's something major beyond just what you see, you know. Beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord, man, there's just something about what God guides you into where that is concerned. So
That's amazing. And I love the fact that you're speaking about just purpose and how you don't necessarily wake up and you fulfilling purpose. You know, you've come a long journey.
Absolutely.
You've been in retail for 15 years. You've been grinding. You've been learning. You've been developing. You've been, you know, pouring into yourself so that you could then step into the next, which is your purpose. And it's incredible to watch. I mean, the brand is so young, but I'm sure it's been in your heart and it's been there. So it feels like it's, you know, a brand that's been around for very long. And I just watch you and how you just exude what you are actually sharing with me now, your strength of your brand, and when you show up and how you create, and just like creating your own outfits for Mrs. SA photo shoots. I'm like, huh? Girl, where do you find the time?
Honestly, it's God, man. Like he's always just really given me the ability to just find the balance as well, the support that I have as well around me.
I think
really
that's huge.
help. It helps a great deal.
I think so. Just in terms of like Mrs. SA, and let's chat a little bit about that. How did you see that, you know, playing out for you? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or was it kind of like a spur of the moment decision?
So I always wanted to enter Mrs. South Africa. I kept delaying it every year because I'm not ready. I'm not ready. You know, we always feel like we need to prepare ourselves for where God is taking us, whereas the preparation is in you just stepping out and allowing yourself to walk through it. So I literally, I wanted to do it 5 years ago. And I kept kept postponing. And then 2 years ago, a friend of mine sent me a DM. They're like, but we've been talking about this. When are you going to do it? And I was like, I'm trying to build AMARI Woman first. There has to be something that I'm entering for, you know? And she kept saying, you need to do it, you need to do it. And eventually I did. I DM'd her and I was like, okay, I did it. It's happening. My husband was also pushing me to do it as well, because this is a dream that we spoke of a long time ago. It is everything that's coming into fruition are things that we really have spoken about. Even in moments where I'm really stressed out and I'm just like, bro, I think I want to give up. I think I've had it. You'd be like, but we spoke about this. This is what you wanted. You asked God for this. What more do you want? But in all honesty, this has been something I wanted to enter for quite some time. I just felt like I needed to be within purpose, or I think for me, I was trying to have my own way when God really had the story tailored out already. But I'm really thankful that I eventually did it. And I do believe I did it at the right time, because AMARI Woman was quite ready to gain visibility. And that's why I entered, because she needed to be shown, and the strength that she exudes, and what she stands for, and who she stands for as well.
And I love that. And I love that about the Mrs. SA platform, is that, you know, it's built for the women. It's built for us to showcase businesses, to network with other people, to have visibility. And I think it's just such an empowering, like we say, it's women empowerment. You don't understand women empowerment until you sit under these women and you see how They literally are building the confidence in
Yeah.
women, how they are imparting their knowledge, sharing wisdom, pulling us along, encouraging
Sure.
us, like saying, girls, you're doing it, keep going, through all of it. And so I really take my hat off to them. And I also am so appreciative of the platform, because I believe it is 100% an empowerment
Absolutely.
platform for women. And I've seen how just women that have come and even spoken to us during workshops and things like that. Like every single woman that stands up there, you're like, what?
How?
Exactly. And that's how much that platform, Mr. South Africa platform, has impacted their lives.
Yeah.
Some have started businesses, others have just grown in confidence. Others have done things that they never thought they would. And so I'm for myself really just so grateful for that. But maybe let's chat about just some things, maybe just challenges that you experience, in your business, and how obviously navigating everything. I know it's a challenge, but what are some of the things that are really, it's something that's kind of a mountain in your way that you've maybe experienced, and how did you maybe deal with something like that?
Firstly, it would have to be the biggest challenge for me this year had been within the Mrs. South Africa journey, specifically.
Okay.
And I think it was in the second month after we got our sashes, my nanny got cancer. And it had progressed so far. There wasn't much that could have been done because of her age, and they were worried about what the treatments would do to her. It was the toughest period ever.
Wow.
Because here I'm momming, I'm mothering, I am businessing, I am Miss South Africaning. There were just so many hats that I was wearing, and she's played such a pivotal role within the entire household, and balancing me out as well, because she's a mom herself and she lived with us, and so she was such a great source of encouragement as well for me throughout the years. She's watched the business grow. She started sewing as well with me. When I bought the industrial machine, she started working on the what is the domestic machine? She started working on the domestic machine. And so she's watched every single part of me grow. She's literally witnessed it all with my kids, with myself, my husband, the growth that he's gone through as well. And so when she got cancer and she had to go home, she didn't want to go get treatment in terms of chemo. She wanted to go back home to Zim and just recoup. That was a tough one. Firstly, I'm emotionally attached to her, so it was really hard. Secondly, she's balanced out so much in my life, taking care of the kids, the home, everything. And so now I had to take on every single role that she was able to cover for me and still do what I needed to do. That was hard. It was so hard. There were times when a lot of ladies didn't know. There were 5 ladies that were so present within that journey, like they'd call me every day, because I wouldn't wake up. Like I'd take the kids to school, and then I come home and I get back to bed again, because I'm exhausted. I felt borderline, it's a strong word to use, depressed. It was really tough. It was a really tough period for me. I don't know how many times I felt like taking the sash off, because I was like, I can't handle it. It's a lot. And there was about to cry, but let me hold it in. There was a night when my husband and I had a conversation. I'm not sure what sparked up what he said, but he said, do you understand that you are chasing a dream that we are backing? Everybody's chasing the dream with you. And you have no choice but to continue, because we are invested in this dream. Because not only do we believe in you being in this pageant, we believe in you chasing AMARI Women. I stopped working for this, I stopped working for AMARI Women because I believed in her so much. She needed me so much, and I needed to be present for her. And so it was tough without her, man. It was really tough. Finding somebody who would, I don't want to say replace, because it's hard to replace anybody, but finding somebody who would play the roles that she did, the way she did it, was so hard. I don't know how many interviews I went through. I don't know if I was trying to find her, but I was trying to find somebody who understood, because I've got hyperactive children who need you to be very present and very patient with them. And she got that. I am not the neatest person. But
you are creative, we know. It's okay.
My mind is everywhere, man. And she got it. She understood. There were times when I second-guessed myself where that is concerned, but she'd sit me down and be, I'm here for you. That's why I'm here. so use me. And she was in her 60s. She was a grown woman. She had no business taking care of such a grown girl, but she was so patient with me, and having to find someone who understood was tough.
Yeah.
I eventually did. But that was a tough period for me. Siba Piwe and Natasha, they'd constantly, are you okay? Are you fine? Are you coping? But obviously when we're all together, you need to put on a brave face,
Pull yourself together.
You have to
That's
pull
what we do,
Exactly. We have to pull ourselves together. And with me, I'm very hyperactive as well.
Yeah, and if you're not, everybody will know.
They ask me all the time.
Because people will know if you're not on.
Yeah, they'll ask me, and they'll ask me,
Yeah.
okay, what's wrong?
Yeah.
The time I've got so much on my mind, I'm trying to figure out, okay, when I'm done here, I need to rush over to the kids. After that, I need to do this. I need to cook for the kids. I need to cook for my husband. There was just so much to do. And so when you get to a client, it's not just we are there to consult. We need to talk about an outfit as counseling.
Wow.
And now you need to put on the psychologist hat. You need to put on the I'm here to listen to you hat, So there was just a lot as well that was around the whole situation.
Wow.
But in all honesty, what helped as well with me being able to balance all of that out was the support that I got. The support I got from my parents, from my in-laws, my parents as well, from my husband.
Yeah.
It's so hard to balance out all these roles when you don't have anywhere to lean onto, and quite honestly, the support structure that I've got has helped me so much, and so it's quite important to build that around you. You need to have people that help you out throughout moments where, like, here I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to handle this. I need to delegate this and take this to that person over there. It's very important. And the friends that I've also kept as well, I've kept a very close-knit circle with people who understand the role that I'm in, who understand how demanding it is. Sometimes I don't respond to WhatsApps. So I need to have people who are understanding of that fact that...
You need a WhatsApp responder, doll.
I need a WhatsApp responder too. So there's just a lot of that. So it's important it was important for me to have support during that period as well, And so, support is just really important from my family, from my friends, understanding where I'm at. But also, it's also quite important for me as well to have a day where to lay back.
Yeah, to de-stress.
To de-stress, which I really find hard. I find it so hard. I can't sit still. Yeah. It's so hard for me to take a day off and be like, okay, cool, now I need to rest. But it's important to have those days as well, because it's not easy to constantly be on the go.
Exactly.
You're gonna break down. Burnout.
Something's got to give.
Mental health is so important, and that one day is so important for you to be able to balance out everything else that's happening around you. Support and being able to take downtime is very important.
Yeah,
and that's
100%. That's amazing. And I think also just like when you speak about downtime, I immediately, my mind goes to social media, because I feel like we're so constantly on socials all the time. Yes, because we've got, targets and responsibilities and things that we need to do. But I find for myself, like if I switch off a day, if I'm off my phone for a day, I literally feel recharged the next day.
Absolutely.
Like I don't post anything, I don't respond to anything, I don't look at anything. Like I intentionally choose not to. Just because I feel like sometimes there's just so much going on in my head. It's like, and then you're still trying to consume everything else that's coming at you. And I feel like for me, that's something that helps me just to kind of recoup and kind of find my feet again, in balancing everything that we have to do. But you speak about your helper, I actually have a sort of similar situation. About three weeks ago, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, my helper passed away.
Oh, no.
And you see, crazy, because she was there. She's been with us 6-7 years.
Sure.
And you don't realize the impact of someone that is a huge support structure like that. And when they are not there any longer, how it impacts, just not even your physical world or the stuff that you need to get done, but just on an emotional level.
Exactly.
It was a really tragic way that she passed. And so that was difficult to deal with as well. So I really kind of can feel what you're feeling in terms of, losing somebody that's so close, and how tricky it is to navigate and trying to find someone that will fill that space.
It's not easy.
Because it's not easy. And it's not even about the years. It's about, like you say, about getting who you are, understanding who you are, and really just being that person that covers all the gaps. And that's what she was to me. But I think just, you know, from the perspective of juggling momhood, you know, business owners, what's been some of the things that you've been doing or implementing to help you kind of just like keep things together?
Asking for help.
Okay.
Number one, that has been the hardest thing for me to do for a very long time. I have a friend of mine who has me by the neck.
Yeah.
Where that is concerned, she'll be like, so what do you need help with? What's happening next week?
And then you'll be like, oh, nothing, I'm good, I'm sorted.
I did that for so long until I could not handle it anymore. And then I started calling her. Okay, I need to do this. Okay, so where do you need me? What should I do? Where can I fill in?
Yeah.
So it's been very hard for me to ask for help, but now I'm learning to ask for help. I mean, it was hard for me to even ask for help from my husband as well.
Sure.
It was a very tough thing for me to do, mainly because I'm so used to doing it myself. I mean, just earlier on, I got my shoes tied up. It was very, when that happened, I was like, oh, okay,
what's going
this
on?
is different. I don't know. It's very hard for me to receive help because I'm so used to doing it myself. So I'd say, ask for help and be okay with asking for help. I'm learning that. I'm saying this from a humble space.
Yeah.
I'm learning that. Downtime, like I said, is very important. Self-care is important. Self-care allows you to recoup. It allows you to quiet the mind.
Yes.
I need to learn to get off social media because I do realize as well it's a great contributor as well.
Yeah.
So staying off social media is quite important as well. Also just having one of these ladies that I absolutely love, she's one of my clients.
Yeah.
She's also a life coach. She has sessions with me as well.
Okay.
When I get there, I know I'm going to have a session with her. I have to be honest with her, what's happening in my life. And the one thing that she taught me was it's important to have your week planned out already on the Saturday. Yeah. Have your week planned out so that you know by Monday, it's my downtime. Tuesday, that's when I start. Where are you starting at which time? Who are you calling? What are you doing? So basically have like your week set out already. You need to know what you're doing so that you don't find yourself running around like a headless chicken. I've been running around like a headless chicken this week. It's been hectic this week. I haven't had a solid plan because I've just had my mind on so many things. And I realized and I remembered what she said. You're supposed to plan already ahead. It's very essential. So planning is quite important. And with your support structure, realize who those people are and lean on them.
Absolutely.
Lean on them intentionally. It's very important to intentionally lean onto those people because they're there to chase that dream with you. They're aware of the place that you're in and they're supportive of it. Allow them into that space, you know? And don't forget your why and why you're doing what you're doing. It's important to always remember your why because your why will always push you into the right direction where purpose is concerned.
Amazing.
And always remember that you aren't living for yourself. Everything that you're doing is not for you.
I love that.
It's good that you are getting the car, you're getting the house, you're getting the recognition, you're getting the interviews, but those moments aren't for you. Always remember that you're here to serve.
Absolutely.
And so everything else that you're doing should be geared towards the concept of serving. And once that happens, everything just starts falling into place. So
that's amazing. I think our time is up. But we'll do more chats in the future. We'll talk about all the amazing things. But congratulations on the business, firstly. And just, all the best for what's to come for the future. I know anything that you do is going to be incredible because you put your heart and soul into it. And you just exude passion and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
And I think before we go, just maybe share with the listeners where they can find you, where they can follow your journey, and if they want to buy anything, where can they buy AMARI?
Thank you so much, Mrs. South Africa, finalist for the year 2024, Erin Miller. So you can find me on Instagram, Mandisa Phuncu, and as well as AMARI Women. And so please follow my journey. It's I believe it's an inspirational one for myself, and I really hope that it's going to be inspirational for you as well. But thank you so much. Amazing. I really appreciate you, my lady.
Absolutely. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to follow me on social media for any updates, behind the scenes content, and so much more. You can find me on Instagram at Erin-Jane Miller 08, on Facebook as Erin-Jane Miller, and on TikTok at Erin-Jane Miller.